So you might have seen this challenge on the Funding Pips. Like Funding Pips launched its challenge way before. It's called Zero, and in this challenge you can have access to instant funding account where you don't even have to pass any phase or any challenge. You can get straight that master account, whatever you choose the account size, let's say $100,000. You don't even have to pass any phase, and then you can have the payouts if you trade there and make some profit. So is that simple? The way I'm explaining it, is it that simple, or there is something inside it? Okay, actually there is, which I'm gonna explain. But first, before I explain about the zero model, I have to compare it with the two-step model of Funding Pips so that you get the point, most of it. Now I want you to watch this video entirely. If you try to skip this video, maybe you will lose a point here, so that won't be a good thing if you just pursuing that account in the future. So it's better to watch this entire video, brother, because I have explained a lot about this instant funding challenge, and if people are getting it so wrong, then their perception is gonna change. Okay, so let's start this video first. As you are seeing right here on my screen, that this is the Funding Pips website, and if I show you here in the challenge section, then there are 3 types of challenge basically, and you can even have maybe 6 types of challenge, because there are variations: 0, 1 step, 2 step, and if you manage to do this Funding Pips Pro, this is the another challenge, but in just different criteria. So basically you have 4 challenges, 1, 2, and this third, and this fourth one is Funding Pips Pro. Now this video is on this challenge which is called Zero, but if I have to compare it with something, then I'm gonna compare it with 2-step challenge. Okay, let's understand this 2-step challenge at first, for those who don't know how does it work. So this is the $100,000 account. You can select the range of your account, whatever you want here. Let's select the $100,000 to know the meaning of it. So this is the Funding Pips challenge of $100,000. This is the evaluation phase, this is the master stage, and your reward cycles are here predefined. Actually, if you want 100% profit, then you have to wait for a month, and then if you want on demand 90% payout, there are other criteria to fulfill. If you wanna get this, there is consistency rule around it, but most people choose to get bi-weekly 80% because patience is another thing. Okay, now here you get the student and practitioner, and at the end master phase. So these 2 phases are called phase 1 and phase 2. In phase 1 you have to achieve 8% profit. In the phase 2 you have to achieve 5% profit of your account, and then the maximum loss remains same, and also the daily loss remains same as the maximum loss. The trading days are 3, means you have to trade for at least 3 days in order to get this master account, and the leverage is 1:100, which is quite good. In the master account there are no rules, because this is your challenge completion, and upon the challenge completion you get this master account. You can trade and make profit and withdraw it. Okay, so if I show you the zero account here, then it has the different meanings here. It gives you 95% profit split, bi-weekly payout, profit target is nothing, because I said you just compare the price here. It's $529 if you take the 2-step challenge. If you take the instant funding, then it's cheaper than that. Why? I mean, I have seen many challenges, and you guys too, because in many prof firms they give you instant funding model little bit costly than the normal challenges because of their instant access to get that account. But why are they charging you this less? The meaning is inside. Okay, I will tell you later. Now here is the 5% maximum loss, 3% daily loss. That means if you cross the limit of losing 3%, you are gone. And then minimum trading days are 7, not 3 like 2-step. Consistency on rewards, 15% consistency rule, which I will explain later. And guys, if you get it wrong, you will end up in a cycle of making profits over and over again and not withdrawing them. Believe me, leverage is 1:50, half of the 2-step. Now I have generated this graph. Okay, like not a graph but a design kind of thing, which will explain you in a better way. So we got Funding Pips here, and here is the instant funding model, and there is 2-step, actually 2-step. You see these 2 foots. Okay, lame joke, no problem. Okay, so instant funding model has minimum trading days of 7, and you get 2-step challenge. Here you will get 3 minimum trading days. The leverage in instant funding is 1:50. In the two-step it's 1:100. Consistency score in the instant funding is 15%. And in two-step there is no consistency score. You get to choose how big the payout is gonna be. There are no rules on that. Okay, requirements are simple. Okay, this is kind of psychological thing. Maybe people will skip this because they get so bored here, but this is so important if you don't understand it, because after explaining this thing you will know why this funding pips zero model has these FAQ sections. And now here this is the main thing, because if I explain all of this to you, you might have a different perception about this challenge. Okay, starting with the requirements. So instant funding, this is my personal opinion. Here's nothing about the video and script and all that. Okay, so instant funding, I guess if you have a lot of money, and I mean it by saying that you have a lot of money. If you have that lot of money and you can afford to lose money, then instant funding is yours, but it is the first requirement. The second, I'm telling you, if you're a beginner, please don't touch this instant funding account. Okay, this is only for those who have experience. If you don't have, then please don't come for the instant funding. These are two requirements that you have to have at least good amount of money to lose and experience as a trader. Only then you can afford to lose or win this account in the instant funding, because there is nothing to lose. You can just terminate it, okay, by your own self. Like, you just have the instant access of your funding, and it's you and the account only. You make profit or you just violate it. Okay, now there is two-step challenge where the requirements are so simple that you have to be patient enough to pursue this challenge. And also it takes time, because two-step is like you have to make 8%, then 5%, and also by following all the rules and the risk parameters, and then you get to choose this master account. So yeah, it's time consuming, and also if you don't have patience, then it's not for you. This is the main comparison that I told you. But if you're a beginner and you are confusing yourself that which model to choose, then go for the two-step. Yeah, believe me, it's the best model in the funding pips, because if you choose the one-step or instant funding, it's not good at all. So you just go for the two-step if you're a beginner. This is only for the beginners. For the experienced and who don't have time and patience, they can go for instant funding. But now here comes the main area, which is funding pips FAQ section for the funding pips zero plan, which is instant funding model. And now let's understand that 15% consistency score for the instant funding. Now remember, here I'm making a point that this FAQ section is only dedicated to instant funding model of funding pips. This is not related to any other challenge of two-step or one-step. Okay, so whatever I'm gonna say here is for the instant funding model only. So here you get the consistency score, and here they are saying you must maintain a 15% consistency score in order to request a reward on your funding pips zero master account. Your biggest winning day can't exceed 15% of your total profit. Let me explain you. So even if you violate this, like if you just cannot maintain this 15% consistency score, doesn't mean you will lose your account. It simply means that you have to trade until you meet this 15% consistency score. So this is not going to be any hard breach or soft breach. It's just time consuming if you don't maintain it. Okay, so it's better you just look at this 15% consistency score. Now what does it mean? So the formula is your biggest winning day is divided by current total account profit. I maybe reversed it. Your current total account profit is divided by biggest winning day. Okay, now, and this multiplies to 100 to get the percentage. Example is your $10,000 account size. Let's say if on that $10,000 account size you make consistently some profits over the 7 days, and now on the 6 days your profit was $520, okay, which was the biggest profit that you have made there. Now what you have to do is just simple calculation. If you just calculate these 7 days of profit, which will come to at the point of $3,500. Now all you have to do is to choose this biggest winning day of $520 and you put it to the upside $520, and for the downside you put the overall profit that you have generated throughout the days, and you multiply it to 100. Now you will get the percentage, which comes down to 14.86%, which is less than the 15%. That's so simple. Okay, so what you have to do, again I'm repeating this, you make biggest profit in 7 days or maybe 10 days, you take that value to the upside and you combine all the profit that you have generated throughout those 10 days, you take that to the downside, you divide that and you multiply it by 100 to get the percentage, and you're done. And if it comes down to the 15%, you're safe. And doesn't mean if it comes up above the 15% then you are not safe. That simply means you have to trade until you meet this score. Okay, so that simply means you have to be consistent with your profit. You can't go like you did $10 profit, then $100 profit, then $500 profit. If you keep doing this, then maybe you will have a different consistency score. So that means you have to keep trading until you get this 15% consistency score or below this. Now here is the account violations, hard breach. Remember, this is hard breach. They are not gonna give you any kind of soft breach and let you go with your account. Okay, so this is so crucial here. Daily loss limit. The daily loss limit is the amount that you are not allowed to lose in a single day. The rule uses the higher value between equity and balance. Okay, so don't confuse yourself with the balance based drawdown or equity based. It's both. Whenever we have equity and balance in both sides, then we consider it to be equity based drawdown. Okay, violating this rule is hard breach, will lead to closure of your account. They are simply saying if you are trading a $100,000 account and you're holding a position over the time, maybe you hold it for like night, and then your balance goes up to 5% profit. Okay, you're not closing your profit, it just goes to 5% profit, and the new day comes and let's say that 5% profit, maybe $5,000 on a $100,000 account, goes down to maybe $100,000. You're not losing anything, but it will be considered as your daily loss limit breach, because it is calculated by the equity. Equity is so simple. If something is ongoing in your account, maybe it's profit, maybe it's loss, then it's called equity, and it changes constantly, it's dynamic, and the balance is a static kind of position where you close the position and it adds up with the balance or like subtracts with the balance. Okay, so equity is dynamic, so make sure you don't overtrade. Like overtrade doesn't mean you take more trades, but if there is a time frame of 24 hours, make sure to close your trade before the new day hits, because if you violate this daily loss limit of 3%, you're gone, and 3% is so less that you will lose eventually if you don't get this point. Okay, so your time resets at 000 CET. Okay, you can change it to your time zone. If you are from India, then you can just set it to IST time, and then you will have this trailing loss limit. This is something that is so crucial that you have to understand it. The maximum trailing loss limit is the amount your equity or balance can't go below. This is set to 5% of your initial account size and moves with your highest recorded equity. Okay, this simply means that if you make something on your account, no matter if it's closed or not, let's say if you're running with $5,000 profit on a $100,000 account, now only by running the profit, you're not closed yet. Okay, your maximum trailing loss is gonna set to the $100,000. Okay, now if you come back to the break-even point, you will lose this account, because trailing loss follows you along with your profits that you make. Okay, so make sure to go a slow pace. With a slow pace, if you make only 1 to 2%, that's okay, but if you just go in a higher way of growing your equity like crazy, then your trailing loss limit is gonna also be higher, so it's gonna follow you. If you make 5% profit, this set to, maybe let me just explain it in a simple way so you get it. Maybe you're confusing and I am also confusing you. $100,000 account that you have, your loss limit is set to the 5% below, which is $95,000. You have a $100,000 account, your limit is set to the $95,000 account. Now in that day, if you manage to get $5,000 profit, which is not closed yet, it's running, and now you are not closing it, then this particular $95,000 is gonna move to the $100,000 limit, and now even if you come to the break-even point, you're not losing anything. You came to the exact point where you were, but you will lose this account, because this particular trailing loss follows your profit. Okay, so as you go with your profits, this trailing limit is gonna follow you. It's that simple. So that shows that it's really hard to get those profits in your pockets. Okay, maximum risk limit. The maximum risk limit is 1%. Okay, if your floating PNL drops below -1%, your account will be breached. Let's say if on $100,000 you risked with $1,000. Now if you risk this $1,000, it's okay. Okay, but you make the profit whatever you want to make. But let's say if it goes to $1,001, which is only $1 above, if you lose this amount, then you're gonna lose your account. Simply, you cannot risk more than 1%, not even 0.1%. It's only 1%, so you're allowed to risk only $1,000 on your account. It's that simple. Now here's the thing: minimum profitable days. Okay, so you have to trade at least for 7 days to get your payout. As in the example I have shown before of these 7 days, you have to keep trading that. And you have to generate profits. You cannot go like, I am gonna only put 0.01 lot so that my trading day is gonna be active. No, it's not gonna be like that. You have to at least make 0.25% in the day to assure that, okay, this is the minimum profitable day. So you have to keep making 0.25% at least to do the 7 profitable days. And this doesn't have to be simultaneously. It can be on the different days. Maybe in a month you choose to make 0.25%. It's okay. It's not required for you to make in a go. Okay. Now this inactivity rule is so simple. 30 days you don't trade and you're gone. Your account is gone. Holding trades during news and over the weekend. Okay. Trades during high impact news or high impact speeches, red fold only, as well as holding trades over the weekend is not allowed in Funding Pips 0. So the rule is for the 10 minutes. So let's say if Jerome Powell is gonna speak, maybe he's gonna give a speech on the US oil or maybe a dollar, then before he speaks you have to close your position 10 minutes before the news, and then you only can open that trade in that particular pair where the news is gonna come. Maybe it's gold, maybe it's Euro USD, because it's the news on the US dollar. So you're allowed to open it after news ends. 10 minutes later you can open that particular position. Okay, this is something like that. So it's a strict rule. If you just don't follow it, you will lose your account because it's instant funding model. Now you're also not allowed to hold your trades over the weekend. So it's Saturday, Sunday, this is the weekend. You cannot hold over the weekend, so you have to close your trade in the Friday. Okay, so this is the important rule because you will terminate your account if you don't follow this. And these are the affected instrument with the microeconomics announcements. You can look at this and you can go for some websites to check this news on like Forex Factory, USD unemployment rate and all those things. Okay, it's for all these pairs. Now here are the reward section. Now also this one is gonna hurt you so badly. Look at the bi-weekly reward. It's you have to wait for 14 days to get 95% reward split. It is not bad because they are giving you 95% profit, 15% consistency score that I already talked about, 3% safety cushion. This is something new. The first 3% profit generated on your master account cannot be requested as a reward. It serves as a safety cushion to help prevent your account from reaching the 3% daily loss limit due to the requesting a reward. This is something. Okay, so let's say on a $100,000 account, if you make $3,000 profit, that doesn't mean that you can withdraw it because it works as your daily loss limit. If you withdraw it, that simply means they are saying that you will violate your rule of daily loss limit, which is 3%, because you simply withdraw that 3% from your account. So if you make $4,000, you're allowed to only take $1,000 profit from there, not entirely $4,000, just to have that cushion in your account. That's simple. Okay, but that's also painful. Biggest loss cannot exceed biggest win. Your biggest loss on the account must not exceed your biggest win. Keep trading until your biggest loss no longer exceeds. So meaning to say, if you lose maybe $2,000 and you are making $500, $200, $600, you keep trading until you make the biggest win more than that $2,000. Okay, then you are able to get this payout. So it's the there are rules around the reward, around the regulations, and then all those things. The leverage you get is 1:50 in the forex. In metals 1:20, which is gold and all, and it's less leverage because it's the instant funding model, and many platforms really give you the same leverage. Okay, so it's less, even less. Many platforms I've seen, they give you only 1:10 on the gold and metal side. For the crypto it's 1:2. And yeah, that's it. So hope you didn't skip a single part of this video, because every part and every rule was important to you. And if you really didn't get the point of this whole video, you can rewatch it, because before even going for this instant funding model, you have to understand these rules. Because people, what they do, they just go for an account, they purchase it, but they end up losing that account just so that, like, just because they didn't understand those rules. So I told you about the FAQ section and every rule in this funding pips challenge. Now here, what is my take on this? So let's again come to this design. So this instant funding model is so hard. Okay, it is so hard, even the experienced traders will lose. This is for sure. And now you get the point. Why did they choose to make it less than the two-step model? Because if you just look at the two-step, it's $529, and now the 0-1 is $499. Now you know why it's cheaper. And this two-step, zero-step, you can compare both of them. You can rewatch this video to get a conclusion. Here is one more point. If you really want to increase this profit target, you can increase it, and the like price will be decreased. Okay, this is 489 now, before it was 529. So by increasing the profit target, by making the difficulty for yourself, you can decrease the price just like this. And the zero plan is also here. So it's cleared now. And if you don't get the point, I have a suggestion for you. You just rewatch this video and take notes. Wherever I am saying this point is important, that point is important, you write down it, and then you see the probability of you passing this zero model of funding pips, of getting instant funding. My recommendation for you is to go for this two-step. Even if you are like intermediate trader, then go for this two-step, or maybe funding pips pro. This is good, but if you go for the 0-1, you have to have good amount of money and experience before you can go for this. This is all my take here. I haven't made any video in these 5 months, literally 5 months. That's a lot. I just don't need any like or subscribe, guys, because I want to reach to most of the traders. So what you can do, you can share this to your trader friend. That would help a lot. Okay, so yeah, that's it for the video. For these kind of informative videos, don't forget to subscribe again. Thanks for watching. I hope you are doing good in trading, and I wish that you keep doing good in trading. Okay, bye bye.